Okay guys, good evening. Just a very quick weekly forecast session. I thought I'd start on the monthly and work our way down again from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame. So effectively, we can see that the month has obviously progressed. We're in 2/3 of the month now. So effectively, we can see a weekly rejection, wick being formed to the downside. It hasn't touched a higher time frame level of demand down here, albeit when we get down to the weekly, we'll see that it has actually taken out the weekly demand and is now rejecting off that area. So effectively, we may well see retracement back up to the upside for the remainder of the month to see exactly where we end up with. So as we go down to the lower time frame on the weekly chart, we can see that the market has actually come and taken this weekly area. If we kind of draw the line there, we can see it's tapped in on Thursday, Wednesday, and rejected then on Thursday through into Friday. Friday has then obviously Thursday, Friday have gone bullish. So effectively, we can see it's respected this weekly demand candle here. It's taken almost 50% of it to the T and then come out of it. We've got lower levels of lower time frame demand still below, which it hasn't taken, but it has rejected out of that weekly demand zone. And it seems to now be moving its way up into this area of rejection that it left behind. So we're kind of anticipating a bias bullish retracement off this bearish pro trend that we're seeing develop. When we go down to daily, these are the lower time frame levels of demand I've basically marked up. So we've got a 4-hour demand above us and then a daily demand sitting down below where the market took off from previously. We can see the market's come down, respected the bearish trend. It's respecting counter trend as well. So it comes down, lower low to the previous low, lower high to the previous high, and then it continues lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And then obviously here we had a dip down, the market rejected, but then it formed a lower high again, and then it's kind of pulled itself down to do a new lower low. So effectively, we're looking for a retracement back up into these areas of key levels that we can see lying up here. Fair value gaps, imbalances in the chart, looking to get targeted alongside lower time frame liquidity that we'll see when we get down onto the shorter time frames. So effectively, we're looking for this to happen this week. See how Monday plays out. It may go one way or the other. Price looks like it's kind of filled itself here. It's respected zones down the bottom here. We may get a slight rejection into this wick. So effectively down into here and then up into either this area to then reject out of, taking liquidity that's left behind, or even up into this area. We want to see respect these zones that's been created up top, but it can even reach way up into here and then reject out of this zone to then sell off. Okay, so that's in the initial bias that we're going to form. We will obviously see how the market opens up and see where it goes as the week develops. When we go down to the lower time frame, let's go down to the 4-hour. Here we can see we had levels of equal highs which are retained. Even though it's wicked up, it's taken out this level of equal highs here. There is a leg of liquidity lying above that, which still needs to be tapped. So we've obviously got an exposed wick here, which hasn't been taken fully. This wick, even though it has formed and wicked up, it's left liquidity above here. So we're looking for retracement down and then possibly targeting this wick here as well. We've got a very large exposed wick here, which may have some orders left within it. So effectively, we'll draw that as a 50% fib and see how that kind of gets respected as the week develops. Levels down here, obviously, we've got equal lows left behind. It is an area of interest to us. We have got demand sitting below that as well. So this is another area of interest. I don't think the market is going to come down here, but again, we will see. It's something that we obviously will be interested in targeting when the market sells from an area above us at the moment. So, excuse me. Again, we will see how things kind of play out throughout the week. We want to see how the market opens on Monday, whether it decides to drive down into these areas here and then moves up, or it kind of initially rallies to the upside, takes out the liquidity, targets this fair value gap up here, and then kind of goes for sells thereafter. So we've got one zone there. We've got other zones way up here, which we will obviously just replicate. Let's just pull this up. Just mark out our areas of interest that we're looking at. So you've got this area here, this area. It's actually all of this up to here. So that's actually a zone on the higher time frame that we're probably looking to target. Let's just double check that on the daily. Yeah. So okay, that's been covered. So we've got it to here. That's the area of interest we've got on the higher time frame. So we want to see how the market kind of comes in and respects these two areas, and then kind of either rejects for sales or drives up through these up into the higher time frame daily supply that we've got marked up here. There's lower levels of interest here, which I was targeting as the market was in and around this area. It didn't tap up, left behind equal highs. So again, there's a bit of confluence here for the market to drive up towards this level up here. So we'll just pull those across just so that we know it's an area of reference we had historically that may well get taken in this move on the way up. It's a lot of leeway to go into, but again, it could be a position that holds for quite a while. Our bias for the past week was actually bullish from the forecast. So, great buys on, unfortunately, Monday evening over Asia session. There were great buys. And then Asia session into Tuesday morning, again, beautiful buys for the week to hold the trade up into areas that we were targeting as our weekly value area. And it's left behind equal highs as it's done that. So this move here, a 200 pip move throughout the week, which we kind of projected and forecasted, and could have been held if you were trading Asia and watching the charts at that time to get in on that buy. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We did take some buys here in the London session and rode them up. So effectively 175, 180 pips were taken on that one trade as a long position. And then there was many snipes up and down on the pro trend and counter trend moves that we saw throughout the week. But that is the forecast for the week ahead. Effectively, we will be looking for a reaction from the area where it currently is to see whether the market sells down into areas of liquidity that's left behind and then reverses up, or possibly works itself up into an area of imbalance up here and then rejects down to sell deeper. Okay. As with everything, I will be putting a few posts up on Instagram. Like, comment, share, subscribe to who you think it will be beneficial, and hopefully we'll see you throughout the week. And I may do a midweek forecast this week. We'll see how the week kind of plays itself out. Okay. As always, trade safe. Any questions, ask them in the comments or on the Instagram DM. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.